Hi guys, welcome to Booking.com's quarterly report update Q2 23, or shall I say Booking Holdings. Booking.com is the biggest entity therein, so let's get started. Financials very briefly. Very good results across the board, healthy growth, and that's obviously the rebound from COVID and the shutdowns. And interestingly, from a business model perspective, so here we got the three types of business models that Booking.com and Booking Holdings pursue: merchant, agency, and advertising. And for a long time, it was the agency business model, which is based on a platform business model, or which is a type of platform business model. That was the main revenue driver for Booking.com. And merchant was always the next, but this is a really quite a big shift. The biggest gains year on year came from the merchant model, and if you compare the first 6 months, the merchant model now has overtaken the agency model, and that's probably, I haven't gone back, but that's probably the first time in, I don't know, maybe forever, since inception of the company. So that's a pretty big shift. And so it'll be interesting to observe how that will develop. Merchant model is a linear business model whereby Booking sources the inventory themselves and holds them on their books. And the agency model is a kind of intermediary model. If you are interested in that, we have an article for you that compares those on our website. Economic trends, I'm not detailing these. You can look at our Airbnb Q2 video where we've said a few things about economic trends in travel. And those are, while they may be a slightly bit different, but they're quite similar. So let's go to the business model updates now. And here so this is the business model canvas. If you want more details, you can read the free article on our website. This is only the parts that have been touched in this Q2 report. So you don't see the full business model canvas here, but in the referenced article, you can see more details on that one. Really, the top themes are around AI, and that's pretty cool for us as innovators. So here, let's start with the key strategic priority, which is called Connected Trip. This is, if you wish, a CEO mandated top-down strategy priority. He's been on this for a long time, and there's different views on that one if you wish. So let's first cover what that is. Basically, they want to have all parts of travel booked through the Booking.com apps, and they have more than one app, but the Booking apps, let's say, more in a second. And they want to connect basically all travel-related needs. So that's package trips or flights, hotels, attractions, and beyond. And they want to also have the bits in between connected as well. So one of their senior guys talks about AI enhanced that is truly connected and very different from buying bits and bobs together across tabs of websites. So there's, I think, a bit more sober viewpoint shared by analysts, which is cross and upselling and use of big data opportunities. But it's not the pre-packaging that we know from Expedia from a long time ago and for a long time. It is more around personalized packaging and AI-supported packaging of personalized items and the bits between. So that's also where it ties into in my viewpoint, to where it's a little bit airy-fairy or a bit hard to believe kind of things. So the bits in between include things like the rides. Let's say a family arrives at the airport at their destination. So here we got Booking.com already partnering with Grab as one example. And they have the idea that if your flight is delayed, the Booking app will then inform your driver, as well as your restaurant booking for the arrival day, that you're going to be late and will rebook that for you. Very interesting. I don't even know that you could do that when the family even has arrived at the destination, because you simply don't know how long it takes to pick up your baggage, and the kids need to go to the toilet afterwards and this and that. I think there's a little bit of confusion between a business traveler and leisure travelers, but be it as it is, there's still merits in the connected trip, as we'll see in the next few slides. the highly dynamic on the spot disruption management type connected trip. Personally, I don't believe in that, but that's fine. That's also not what they hang their hat on necessarily. The other comment on that one, apart from that connected trip with all the bits in between, is literally all major players in the travel industry are working on exactly the same thing. They have been working now for years on the personalized offers. There's something in the background happening, a seismic shift called new distribution capability, where there's more rich data being exchanged in the background between all sorts of travel providers, which everyone thinks they're going to capitalize on that opportunity. Well, the thing is, everybody thinks that they're going to capitalize on that one. It's not just Booking.com. All major hotel chains have their loyalty programs, etc., and they are in touch with the customer at the destination point. So if guests want recommendations from the concierge, etc., they are literally in face-to-face contact with the customers, and they can use those kind of things to help the customer. Booking.com therefore really competes with hotels on that front. Airlines have a lot of detailed data. They got their big loyalty programs, which some or many of which are partnering with credit cards. They got really detailed data of what the customers do and like, and they want to use that for personalized offers. So that's what Booking.com is up against. But again, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to work. So let's continue. There's some really cool things happening in the app space. So they got the Priceline app, which is separate from the Booking.com app, very popular in the US. And they got their AI called Penny. Penny is at the end of the funnel. So basically after or at the checkout and after the checkout pages, could be used for cross and upsells. It's got, as you can see, conversational capability. And it will then display links, etc., from which you can then book. And what they're saying, just like what everyone else is saying, they're gaining a lot of insights on questions from potential travelers and bookers. What are they concerned about? What are their behaviors, etc.? So very interesting. And aside from that, within the Booking.com app, they got the AI trip planner, which is at the front of the funnel or top of the funnel. So it is already there in the discovery and planning process. Now, it's not a great screenshot, but what you can see here's the conversation, and the links are already there, and the conversation can continue, etc. So there's a conversational experience, and then on top is a visual list of the destinations, properties, and whatever is relevant. There's the live pricing information. That's very important because, as you know, hotel pricing is changing like daily, hundreds of times for a single property. Slightly exaggerating, but not too much. The live pricing is really important. Especially, like, think about it. People look up for this date, then they look up for the next date range, and then for the next date range. And there are days which are higher priced, lower priced, etc. So if someone looks up for a 7-day range, there could be 2 days which are exorbitantly high, etc., etc. So all of that plays a role. There are deep links within the conversation to the properties, etc., whatever the relevant information is. And so basically they can click on these, tap on these, and then complete their booking. So basically, is they've got a conversational interface plus all their known strength points. And if you look at the Expedia app as an example, as one of the key competitors, they are also using the conversational front end of ChatGPT, but they do not have the things embedded in between. So basically, at the end of the conversation, you got buttons, you click, and then you get the display results. So pretty different. And Booking.com was always unbelievably strong in their sales pages. Their website are literally, in my mind, killer web sales pages, like some of the best of the best. I will say it will leave pages like Amazon way behind in terms of UI and UX. And so they are also, I think, leading in this space. Still a little bit, I think it can be done better, but certainly the benchmark for where the status is right now. So you can see, tying that back to what we just said before, even if you disregard kind of or don't pay that much attention to the disruption management side of things, there's certainly a lot of potential there with the conversational AI and relevant search results. So next, just to finish everything up, the last bits of updates were on the supply and the demand side. So basically, they've been in this time focusing on alternative accommodations. They probably also feel a bit the heat from Airbnb. They don't want to miss out on that big opportunity of hosting and vacation rentals. They're saying demand growth 11% year on year, and now it is 34% of total room nights that are alternative accommodations, which is 2% points up year on year. And they said the supply side has grown by 8% and that they got 7 million listings. Airbnb also said they got 7 million listings, but they said they got 7 million active listings. So whatever the percent of sleeper listings are, that I don't know. But yeah, just a comparison. Updates on customer segments and channels and relationships. Yeah, they obviously kind of placeholder statements, increase loyalty, frequency of spend, and direct relationships. They did say that the direct bookings and direct traffic has increased, which means they are reducing their dependency on Google Ads, which is the main traffic channel, which is good. And that's a really important driver and kind of a puzzle piece in getting people on their app. And they mentioned transition to the app. 48% of room nights have been booked through the app, and that's a pretty nice 6% year-on-year increase. So why is it relevant? Increase in direct traffic and direct booking through the app, obviously very important if they want to have a connected trip concept and strategic priority, because obviously if you want to have Booking.com manage all parts of your travel, then you want that to happen through the app, because people are not going to log into any sort of desktop when they're at their destination, at least not to the extent that they will have the app when they, explore the destination. So this behavioral change is very important, and it shows that there's some traction towards that. The other thing, they haven't gone too much on Genius, which is their loyalty program, but one thing that they could do differently from hotels and airlines is try to make Genius a little bit like Amazon Prime, the predominant loyalty program of travel. Not that easy, but it is possible, because like if you, let's say you're a Hilton loyalty member or a certain airline, it will not cover all your travels. So yeah, there's certainly an opportunity that in my mind has not been called out sufficiently this time around. But yeah, very, very interesting. The AI stuff was the most interesting, certainly. And as I mentioned, I believe compared to other players and including the rival Expedia, that's they're a little bit ahead of the curve. So with that, we're closing it out, and check out our premium resources on the store. We got quite a lot of things. One of them is like case studies about Airbnb and Uber, which relevant in the context that we've just discussed. Take a look at the store. You'll find cool things there with entry-level offers and so on. And don't forget, this is not investment advice, and check out our terms if you wish. Thank you very much.